The AOKs, the happy owners of AOKs. We're not just family but friends. We have a laugh, we have some fun, just serious stuff, and when we're done,
prepare for bed? Yeah.
And when we're done, do it all over again. AOKs, the happy owners of AOKs. We're not just family but friends. AOKs, the happy owners of Kent.
Hi everyone, welcome back to the
AOKs.
Today we're going to be talking about my little sister Jazz. A few days ago, I was feeling sick and I couldn't go to school.
Yeah, and we'll continue with what happened since that's all she can say right now. As you'll be able to see, Jazzy's face doesn't look the normal, chirpy, nice, smooth, buttery. Yeah, she has had an allergic reaction to, shockingly, shea butter. And we just want to talk about that and some of the things that we've learned, I suppose, from the whole experience. And just share. As we say, we have a laugh, we have some fun, talk about some serious stuff.
And when we're done, prepare for bed.
Okay. Right. So on that note, Daddy, do you want to start talking about it?
Yeah. So it started off a little bit of a rash on her face. So like little pimples. At first they look a little bit like heat rash, but more clumpy and itchy and just looking a little bit uncomfortable. And then that went on for maybe a good couple of days. And then bang, she woke up in the morning and, it was like her face was all swollen.
And she couldn't open her eyes.
Yeah, you couldn't really see her eyes.
Yeah.
My 2 eyes were literally closed.
So the eyelids were so puffy and the face was so swollen that she could hardly open her eyes, which sort of made her cry and upset.
Yeah. So let me give you the backstory to it now, because that is what caused us to realize that something was definitely wrong. So I'll go back to a long, long time ago. No, like 3 days before. So I had to get them ready for school reopening. And as part of that, I wanted to wash their hair and make sure that they're all ready. So I did it on, I think it was the Thursday. I washed Jazil's hair, but when we were going to wash it, Jazil said, "Mommy, I'm going to use the black soap in my hair." So I said, "Go ahead, and then when I come, I'll put the shampoo that we normally use." So she used the black soap in her hair. I washed out her hair after with the I can't remember if I used more shampoo or what, but I did wash out her hair after that. But I didn't put hair products and do her hair immediately. In fact, I waited until the Sunday before Monday to do her hair. Now on the Sunday, the products that I put in her hair was some nice home remedy that your girl made. So I was proud of my home remedy. Had it there just stowing, waiting to be used to unleash it on my family with love.
Yeah. And this is like normal, like things that you would put in your hair that people know to put in their hair.
Yeah.
Nothing like weird, no like mayonnaise, chili sauce, nothing like that.
yeah.
No.
So no, I was going to say some of the ingredients actually.
Yeah.
So I put things like shea butter was the main thing. I put aloe vera. I put a little bit of honey in it, castor oil, coconut oil as well. That was it in terms like those are the main things that was in it, and mixed it up and used it. Now I had forgotten that some years ago, the first time I used shea butter in my hair, I felt like my head was on fire, and that's why I hadn't used it for a long time, as in the raw shea butter, not the products that we get here, where the shea butter is like a light percentage of it. So
yeah, that's actually a point. Like, it literally came in like a clump. It looked like a clump of butter in a pack.
Yeah, with no. Yeah, we knew it was shea butter because when it was given to us, it was just like the pure stuff straight from the motherland. So you're like, yes.
I have a question about shea butter.
Mm-hmm.
Can you eat shea butter because it has butter in it?
Not that I know. I don't think so.
No, it's not
Not
that
the
type of
type of butter that you put on toast.
It's not that type of butter, no. So, so when we noticed by then, so because Thursday we noticed the fine heats, as Soji said, and little by little we were seeing things happening. But when I put the butter, the shea butter, and my little nice hair, okay. So yeah, when I put my beautiful product in her hair that night, I tied Odelia's hair. So the next morning when I took her out to school, and as she came out of the car, I noticed her face looked really much more angry than it did the day before, with the fine heat like in clumps around. So I was like, whoa. So I took some photos and I said, whoa, your face looks this thing looks a lot. But I had no idea as to what it was. When we were after school, when we were coming back in the car, as we got home, she was like, why is my eyes so blurry? And I was like, oh, okay, let's see what happens for the rest of the day. And that night she went to bed. So that was Monday night. She went to bed, and we forgot to tie her hair. That is when all things broke loose, because everywhere I think the hair touched overnight is
and the
what
pillow.
and the pillow, it just caused
I mean,
the onslaught.
It's worth saying that when the fine heats were coming, one of the thoughts were, is it something that she ate? And some people have that kind of sensitivity, and she does have a bit of eczema. So you think, but this was
heat
really
rash,
but this was really peculiar in that it was just rashes on her face. And a little bit on the neck.
Front and back of the neck. Of course, we realized after it's everywhere that our hair was reaching. Because when I had to, in the end, wash her hair out, then we realized that actually everywhere the hair could touch, that's where it was, like all over. But so that was Tuesday morning. So do you want to continue? Because we got up, that's when she came to us and was crying, I can't open my eyes, and we were like, what? We jumped up really.
I mean, so when you have something like that, you think about allergy really, and when the face swells, you want to make sure that there is nothing else that's swelling. And crucially, is the tongue swelling? Is there any problems with breathing? Which were very reassuring that she didn't have any of those signs. She was uncomfortable, and she looked really puffy, like she's been in several rounds. But but we were very reassured that it wasn't the kind of allergy where you really need to dial 999. But we still knew that we needed to get medical advice. So over here in the UK, we have the 111 service where there is non-urgent, or they help you sort of sort out what's urgent and what's not. But it's not an emergency, so you contact them. And they were taking a while, so we contacted the GP as well. But eventually, when they came through, they go through a series of questions to establish that her life wasn't in danger, essentially. And then they advise us to, wait to talk specifically to a doctor over the phone. But in the meantime, you could go over to your pharmacy and ask for I'll ask for some advice and theirs as well. I mean, as a pediatrician, I know one of the things that you need to get into the system are antihistamines. So we kind of knew we needed to get that. So we started that. Gave it about 24 hours.
But during that time, what we did was, Shanova and I, we started to talk about, like, to look back at what had happened. When did this thing start? What has happened since? And that is when we realized that the first thing we used different on her was the black soap. And then the next thing was my beautiful mix there called the quote-unquote concoction.
So what we did was we did like a process of elimination of the things that we had eaten and the things that Giselle had used over the last few days. So Mum and I literally went back every single day and thought, what did we have for dinner? What was different in the day that we had used each day for the last about 5 days? And when we looked through the meals that we had, there was nothing different that we had eaten than what we would usually eat. But when we looked at like hair products and things, that's when we realized that some things that were added in we had not used on her hair before or hadn't touched her face before. That's another point to point out. The black soap she had used before by her hands, but we've realized that Giselle's face and her scalp and her hair and her neck area is a lot more sensitive. So it's important that just because you've used something on another area of your body doesn't mean that it won't react differently to other parts of your body. So don't cancel something out because you think, oh, I've used it on my foot, so it's fine. Yeah, and then we went online as well, and we researched the ingredients in black soap as well. And then Mum had gone through all the ingredients, so she added in the hair concoction that she made, and then we realized, okay, there was both aloe vera and shea butter in both.
Aloe vera, shea butter, and honey were the three ingredients in the both of them.
Yeah, and she eats honey all the time. Honey, we've used honey for a long time. It's fine. Aloe vera as well. We did aloe vera hairsprays and stuff before, so we knew that was fine. So we realized.
They taste aloe vera too.
Yeah, yes. They ate aloe vera. They were fine as well. So we realized that it was the shea butter that was the problem, because that was not a part of our usual hair care
and it was
routine.
in the both of them, and it just got, when it was put in the hair now and got a chance to get all over the face, that is when it just spread horribly.
It's like the hair is a monster.
Yeah, the hair turned to
octopus spraying ink.
Yeah.
And I suppose this is a good junction to ask if you've ever had an encounter like that with shea butter. Comment down below.
Yes. Yeah. Comment down below. Yeah.
Both for Delia and I, when it came to interacting with Giselle when she had the shea butter, when we realized that it was the shea butter in her hair, we had both used the hair product in our hair and we hadn't reacted to it. So we had to be careful that once we were we like played with Giselle, acted with Giselle like normal, but we had to make sure that our hair did not go anywhere near her face, and we didn't touch her touch her and stuff. Her pillows had to be changed, like all of her sheets had to be changed, just to make sure she didn't interact with the shea butter.
But just to add, it was because I had washed all the products out of her hair. So because Shanova and Odelia still had it in theirs, they didn't want to to cause that.
So we have a bunk bed and she can't climb up anymore, and when she needs to get some toys from my bed, like her baby life, I have to give it to her.
Okay. All right. Send it via Royal Mail. Yeah. So just to say, since then, one of the things that we've noticed is that after sharing with people about what has happened, a lot of people have been telling us about reactions that they have had to shea butter, or their children have had to shea butter, but you always think it's one-off because it's a natural product. Now, we're not saying that shea butter is bad, everything you see with shea butter in it, to forget it. No, because we have used shea butter in this house. Giselle has used it in her hair and those sort of things already. And stuff. But those that have been bought over here with, even though they call it shea butter, when you look at the ingredients, it might be 5%, 10% shea butter. But when you get this natural stuff from back home, whether back home is in the Caribbean or Africa, in this case we got it from Africa, it doesn't come with any telling you how much, how potent it is. And this is where the problem is. So you think that because it's natural, you could use it and there's no problem. As I said, I forgot that when I used it, my head felt like it was on fire. When I said it to my sister, she does not use it on one of her daughters here at all. One child, like with Odelia and Jazz, is fine. The other child, is like she wants to rip her scalp out when she use the natural, the raw shea butter. So
And I was just going to say, when it comes, you don't actually know what else
is
in
in
there.
it. Yeah.
So extra care.
Yeah. So, and then actually, while Shanova and I we were talking in the kitchen about it, then we realized, oh my goodness, we know somebody who they've been complaining for a while about their skin, but they've been using it, shea butter, over and over and over again, thinking that's helping, and every time, for years, and it's getting worse and worse. So when I started to talk to that person's parent about it, they were like, oh my goodness, I think that's the problem, because that's the thing that they keep using all the time. So this is really we call it precautionary tale, because now she has to be taking a lot of medication, and she looks much better than before.
A lot better.
I mean, so just a quick plug about allergy. And I think that's important.
I'm joking. Here's the information.
And so generally, allergies comes in different forms. Primarily two types of forms. There's the one where most people will know about, which is called anaphylaxis, and this is the one where it's life-threatening, and it's really where your body gets into contact with something that it produces a lot of reactions, which are we say it's mediated, but it's sort of brought through by a certain type of immunoglobulin called IgE. So that's a chemical in the body. So basically, that is a really fast kind. It's the sort of thing where somebody has a little, even for some it can be so severe they can get a tiny piece of a nut either in contact with the skin or it gets into their mouth, and it causes breathing problems. They could get a rash. You actually see the physical swelling. It affects their throat. That's really dangerous. And that stuff, you've got to call 999. Don't bother with urgent care 111. No, 999. And it could be fatal. And some people who it's been recognized carry a special device called an EpiPen, which has a dose of adrenaline which counteracts those kind of inflammatory effects in the short term. Anyone who has that knows that even if they have to give themselves an EpiPen, they need to get straight to hospital and get treatment, because it can recur. So that is the fast kind of allergy called an anaphylactic reaction. So the other kind is a slow, slowly acting, slowly evolving type, which is the type that would tend to give you a skin rash. You can get urticaria. That's the another name for sort of irritable or irritated skin, and that's the kind that Dazil had. Food can do it. Contact with chemicals or things that your body reacts to can do it. And the way to really counteract that is by using medications called antihistamines. But primarily contact your doctor, urgent care, get some advice, see your pharmacist, which is what we did. We started with something like Piriton, but we were finding that wasn't really helping fast enough. So we kept talking to the doctors. We got some stronger antihistamines, and that is what is helping now. But sometimes you might even need to get something stronger. But all of that is to manage the immediate term. For the long term, you need to avoid those kind of products, and I think that's important.
Yeah, one of the things is that there's a difference between allergy and intolerance. So if you're intolerant to something, they say that it doesn't mean that you need to cut that out totally. For example, I'm kind of intolerant to milk, so they kind of get the smell of after I have milk. But I try not to have it just for the family, but once in a while, yeah.
A bit of ice.
It slips in and then it slips out. But when it comes to allergy, as Saji said, there's a whole different thing, and you have to treat that differently.
Yeah.
Another thing is you have to be careful when it comes to all natural stuff, because this is the same thing that they've been saying for years when it comes to herb and thing. Not because you could pull it from the garden, you could pick it, you know it's natural. It doesn't mean that it's safe, because you don't know how potent it is. A lot of times when they're making these products in labs and stuff, they know just how much is enough for to be used in a product without damaging somebody. So what is a safe quantity? But when we take these natural things and we use it, I think for us, what was happening with the shea butter, it was just too concentrated for myself, and too concentrated, I realize now, for a lot of people, but it just hasn't been spoken about.
Yeah.
So I think that was it. Yeah. So Jazz, do you want to say anything?
Yeah. My eyes are getting better. They're not blowing anymore. The spots on my face are fading away.
You're starting to look like cool Jazz again?
And my eyes aren't puffy.
Oh yeah.
And I'm happy that I'm getting better.
Yeah, we are too. Yeah. What about you, Delia? How do you feel when you saw what happened with your sister?
When I saw it happen, I didn't want to look at her face because I don't like seeing like loads of dots.
Yeah, all the dots. But you wanted to play with her still?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I think we've certainly learned our lesson.
Yes, we have. Well, I have about making products.
Yeah.
Make them with something like coconut.
Just
and
buy her
olives,
products.
and smash the olives. And
Olives?
Coconut and olives? Okay.
Delia wants to make
Alright.
fresh
That
from
is
Italy.
a whole different program.
Yeah.
Because we don't want to be sitting here again allergic to olives on your face. No.
Yes. Alright.
So
that's it. Yep. Don't forget to
like, subscribe,
Comment down below.
share, click the bell for more notifications. Not personalized, not none, but all. I do all those things.
Yep. And alright guys, until another time. Oh, Daddy wants to say something?
And if you want Jazz to get better, comment down below and subscribe.
Yes,
and
send Jazz love.
Share.
Send Jazz some love, please.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hashtag send Jazz love. Alright guys, take care. Bye.